They're serious.
Leave this to me.
Get in the truck next time.
Sorry, pal.
Hey guys, I'm Kevin.
I'm Jake.
And this is Movie Matters. We continue Heist Month with Wrath of Man from 2021, directed by Guy Ritchie, a classic Jason Statham movie. Jake, I've been begging you to watch this movie for so long, and you finally watched it. Let me know your honest truth about it.
I have watched this before.
Oh, what?
I don't know why it didn't click for me. But about 15 or 10 or 15 minutes in, I was like, oh no, I totally watched this. I'm pretty sure I watched it when it came out on Amazon or something. Because I think it's a Prime movie, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched it. But yeah, it's an awesome movie. I'm pretty sure you had nudged me to watch it anyway. But
probably.
It's a killer movie. It's not quite tonally the same as some of the other Guy Ritchie movies, which I don't mind. It doesn't have quite that the witty banter, kind of stuff throughout it that he's particularly in his earlier movies that he has. But I really do like the tone and the feel of this movie. It's very intense and really takes you on a fun ride.
Yeah, agreed. It's a huge guilty pleasure of mine, this movie. I just love it. It's one of my favorite Guy Ritchie movies. It's really up there with Snatch. And I love Guy Ritchie movies. And I saw this in theaters and was this movie's so badass and cool and just so entertaining, and it's a great watch. I mean, I was checking my Letterboxd and I watch it every single year. It's without fail, I watch it every single year. I'm gonna pull up my when I've watched it, and I rate it high. It's a 4. It's it doesn't have that high of a review rating on Letterboxd. It's a 3.2. I gave it a 4.5 because I just love the movie. Yeah, I watched it August of 2022. So I saw it when it came out in 21, when it came out in May, and then I saw it in August of 22, saw it in October of 23, July of 25, August of 26. So I've watched it a lot. For a movie that just came out, 5 years ago, it's great. And yeah, I mean, it's so entertaining to me. I know you mentioned it doesn't have as much witty dialogue as Snatch, for example. This movie, I feel has that witty, goofy, zany dialogue in the beginning that's hilarious, and then it gets really serious when you figure out what the whole plot is of the movie. But it's just so damn entertaining to me because it molds a bunch of genres together, in my opinion. It's a heist film, it's a revenge film, it's got drama, it's got action, and it's a little funny at the beginning, and it's just, I don't know, I love when a movie does that and it can does it a really good balancing act, and teeters on different genres, and then actually performs and does it well. And I think this movie is that. And yeah, I mean, I love it. I'm a big Guy Ritchie fan. I mean, I'd go and see all of his movies. The Covenant was great. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare was great. His most recent one, that I'm blanking on the name, with Jake Gyllenhaal and Henry Cavill, I thought that was great too. It wasn't amazing, but it was entertaining. There's some great action. He really just makes a movie. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about that with Snatch too. Like,
yeah,
he makes, like, he kind of makes dude movies.
yes,
You know?
absolutely.
Like, just dudes like hanging out, like watching like a fun badass movie. Like, that's the kind of movies he makes, and
Yeah.
they're fun to watch.
Absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed. By men for men.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, I love the structure of this movie. Like, you start out with the heist that kind of sets a tone, and then you get, you know, like Jason Statham is introduced. You don't quite know like what his deal is. So there's like the like air of mystery around it, and then like you're wondering kind of what's going on. Like you think that he's like one of the guys in the heist crew. You know, at first, like maybe you're trying to like, you know, run some kind of thing on the inside, and he's the inside man. And then, you know, they actually like invert it, that like he's actually kind of like the John McClane, you know, that's like there to like thwart them, you know. And there's another rat, you know, in there somewhere. Yeah, like going from a heist movie to like an action movie to a revenge flick, and then back to like a heist movie, and like impeccable heist sequences, like, you know, like just so well done, like so awesome. And like the violence in the movie is brutal, and like everything I think is earned, you know, which is like important if you're gonna do a movie like this. Like, none of the, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a good example of like unearned violence in a movie, but like everybody that Jason Statham kills, there's a payoff, you know, like even when he's just like wrecking people, it's like you're not like, oh, like you don't feel like this is gratuitous, like everybody deserves it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the violence is brutal in this movie, but yeah, I agree. It's definitely like earned, and it feels. It's I don't know. It's done in a very entertaining way, but it's also like shocking too. Like certain people
Right.
die in this movie, and you're like, no way. Like
Yeah, particularly in the final heist. Like,
yeah, exactly. But
I think there is like a little bit of a testament to like how well he developed even like side characters in this movie that you actually like feel for when they get blown away at the end. You know,
like Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know you don't like him, right?
Who, Hartnett? I like Hartnett. I used to not like him. I always thought he was like a pretty boy, and like he wasn't that good of an actor. But I like him. I like him, and he's great in this. I thought
he's awesome.
He's
in this
so
movie.
great in this, and he's done some stinkers for sure. Some bad movies, in my opinion.
Did you watch Penny Dreadful?
No.
Oh, you should. He's amazing. He's a cowboy that turns into a werewolf. He's so cool.
Oh, nice.
It's an awesome TV show. For anybody that's looking for I think there's only like 3 seasons of it, but like it's a really good show.
Nice.
I think it was on Showtime. But yeah, worth checking out, and he's amazing in it. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's so good in this movie. Like all the posturing up front, and then when they get into their first situation, he just completely crumbles, and that's when like Jason Statham's like, "Hey, like, get your fucking ass out of your ass."
Yeah, that is the best line of the movie. You just worry about putting your asshole back in your asshole.
Yeah,
so good. That is my favorite line of the movie. Yeah, I mean the beginning has such great lines. There's like, they talk about old ladies at the bank and like if there's still juice in the raisin, which is like disgusting and hilarious at the same time. And there's a lot of, you know, like sexual innuendo and inappropriate jokes about, you know, male sexuality and stuff. And it's really funny. And just the rapid fire of the dialogue. It's just like, I remember seeing it in theaters for the first time, and being like, oh my god, this is like I love this style. This is so Guy Ritchie, and it's so fun, and it's just like relentless. But it also feels kind of it's like I love that he toes the line of like realistic, but yet it's still like heightened a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean with
Yeah.
his movies? Because it's like over the top. Because
like,
you gotta
no
push,
one is
push
actually
entertaining.
that witty, but like, yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta push. It's it's just the entertaining of like him sitting writing, being like, yeah, this is sick. Like, fuck yeah, this is a cool line. You know what I mean? It's just that's Guy Ritchie movies is him just thinking of cool shit and putting it on the page and then putting it on the screen.
Yeah.
And I love that. What I didn't know or forgot about, having watched it for the podcast, is this is a remake. It's an English remake of a French film called Cash Truck, and it starred Jean Dujardin, who was in The Artist and won the Oscar for that, which doesn't have that great of a review or rating. It's like 6.5 on IMDb from what I saw. But I'd be curious to see that. But
Is it supposed to be like the same story and everything?
yeah, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure. I
interesting.
didn't look too much into it just because I was like, I don't know. Like it can't really top Wrath of Man for me,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But this movie came out came out in 2021 during COVID. It was made for $40 million, which great. I love that. That's not a huge budget, and the
Yeah.
movie looks great, sounds great, the acting's great. You've got a great cast in there, and
Super practical.
yeah, and it made $100 million worldwide. So it made money, and I'm sure it's made money on the streaming platforms and everything. I mean, I own this movie on Blu-ray. Did you end up buying the Blu-ray copy?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a problem, in my opinion, with this movie and its streaming file, if you will. It's a very dark movie in general, and some parts of the movie are very unwatchable, in my opinion. And it's like, if you are streaming it and watching on like a nice TV, you still are, the picture quality is not great. And like, I watched it with one of my buddies, Brandon, and he didn't like the movie at first. And he saw it in an AMC theater, and he was like, this projector was too dark. It's like, I just think that's how the movie's filmed. But the Blu-ray copy is like the best copy to get. And so if listeners and viewers, if you're wanting to buy the movie, I recommend just the Blu-ray copy. Not to sound like too big of a mediophile nerd, but I didn't have. This is going to sound funny. I think I told you I didn't have batteries for my Blu-ray remote, and I had this on Blu-ray, and I was like, shit, but I need to watch it. So I ended up buying the 4K version of it on Prime, and I was like, man, this looks terrible. Like, there's certain scenes that are just so dark, and I even like would tweak my brightness, and so I think that unfortunately hinders the viewing experience of this movie. And like my friend Brandon didn't love it at first because of that, and his dad even didn't love it at first. And like since they've rewatched it, they love the movie now. And like I showed my friend Brandon when we watched it together, we watched it on Blu-ray, and it's like night and day difference. And it's just interesting.
I've heard that this is a not super common, but like somewhat common issue when they port movies over to streaming.
Yeah.
Sometimes they like don't get either like the contrast or like the brightness correct or something, and it kind of like washes everything out or like darkens everything out. It seems to only really affect movies like this that are like dark to begin with. Yeah. So,
well, also, I mean, being a movie junkie like I am and a media head like I am, I have a ton of physical media. I've currently downsized into a condo and don't have room for my massive collection that I have. So unfortunately, I have to stream everything. But streaming is compressed. You're compressing everything.
Yeah.
And if you watch Blu-ray, you get a true, it's just like streaming and music versus going through like a CD or vinyl. You're compressing everything so your quality's not as good as it could be. There is an awesome company out there called Kaleidoscape, and we're not sponsored by Kaleidoscape or anything like that. I wish we were, because Kaleidoscape's awesome. That is a streaming like media player, but gives you the full high-res file for the movie. Like literally what the studios get, they give Kaleidoscape. So you get the full quality and everything, and full audio quality. Because and versus streaming on like Netflix, let's say, or Prime, it's all compressed and you don't get the great sound quality, you don't get the great video quality. It's a night and day difference. It's crazy. So watching it on Prime this time, like my experience was hindered. I mean, I still love it, and obviously I still gave it the review I give it, but I just want people to know, like, if they watch it that way, they might be disappointed in it. It's like, it's kind of disappointing to them. Like, it's doing a disservice to the movie, because the movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I one thing I love the soundtrack in this movie. The soundtrack is so like ominous and brooding and dark and so fucking cool. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah. It definitely adds to all the like tension that kind of carries through the whole movie. Yeah.
Agreed. I love how the movie starts with, when Holt McCanny gets like taken hostage by Post Malone and his crew, which is hilarious that Post Malone is in this movie. Yeah. I love when he just basically wrecks the entire crew, of Post Malone and his guys.
Absolutely nothing.
Like literally just turns a corner, like basically blind fires and hits a dude in the face. And it's the coolest fucking thing ever. And I love that because you see him getting trained, and he just scores 70% on his test, which is like he knew that was the just bare minimum he needed to pass, and he did that on purpose to not really expose his true identity. And I think that's so cool. And then all of a sudden he's thinking this might be the crew that killed his son. And so, watching it on repeat viewings, you see little things like that. You're like, well, he's looking like, when you first watch it, you don't know what he's doing. He's just like killing people to kill him, basically. And then on repeat viewings, you're like, well, I know his real motive, which is really cool. So that's why I like this movie so much, is because this movie is great on repeat viewings. And it's like, suck my dick, suck your own dick, shoots him in the head. Like, that's like insane, that part. And so unpredictable. I was like, no way. Just, he's not going to torture this guy or something, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, he just blows the dude away, which is so cool. But
I mean, it's a cool, like, it's not a callback because you don't know yet who, like, the guy is that's responsible for killing his kid. But, like, that's why he just blows him away, is because he knows that's not the guy, you know? So, like, that's where, like, the rewatchability definitely, like, gives you a little bit of added, information, and makes it, like, a little bit, it keeps making it fun, to watch it. Yeah, agreed. And he just, like, dude, he headshots, like, everyone in that scene. Just, like, straight to the dome, dude. That whole scene is so great. And I love that they're just like, who the fuck is this guy? And it starts to slowly reveal who he is. And, like, I think another great scene that shows that is, well, first, he's trying not to reveal too much. And when the guy who, I forget his name, but the guy, he, like, took his job, and he's now, like, watching the cameras, when he kind of confronts him in the bar while they're playing pool, and he's just like, he's like he's playing cool, but he's like not trying to get in trouble. And it's cool how he walks that line. And he also does that when he just meets Boy Sweat, Josh Hartnett's character, where he's like, it looks like you could do some pull-ups. I got $50 on you, blah, 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 And he's just like, oh, you'd win in the pull-ups. Like, whatever.
He's like, I don't care. Like, that's
Yeah.
not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to kill you. I'm not here to fuck you up. But I'm here to investigate. And
Yeah.
he just plays that kind of, you know, like lurking in the shadows type figure. And the mysteriousness of him is so cool. And that's what makes it, like, super watchable and entertaining.
Yeah, and like the part that's like, I think as a viewer that like is super interesting is the person who says like, who the fuck is this lunatic, isn't one of the robbers, it's one of his co-workers. So it's like it kind of gives you like that extra hit of like, yeah, what is going on, because like something's not quite right.
Yeah. And then you get the reveal that like the bureau's looking after it, like at him, and it's just like, oh, let the painter paint. You know what I mean? Like that's, and you're like, okay, so who really is this guy? He's like a bad dude, and that's where like you also see they replay the murder of his son, like the footage from the Fortico robbing of that truck from that crew, and you see his like reaction, but he like plays it off really well, and it's like they almost know that it's, they're deliberately showing him this to get like a rise out of him, which is really cool, and he doesn't give in and keeps his cool and keeps his cover, and then like there's it's like then like he's not who he says he is, and I also love the scene where they're like the truck's gonna get robbed, the Fortico truck's gonna get robbed, and it turns out it's his crew that's robbing the truck. And I think it's like, at first I was like, wouldn't they know that he's doing that? But I think they don't, because he's like undercover.
He said he was going to London or something.
Yeah, and
he told them he was leaving the country.
Yeah, and so like that scene is cool, and it's like they just walked away. It's like, then something's like up even more. It's like, oh, this guy's a fucking legend, the owner of Fortico.
Yeah.
That guy's hilarious.
But like, I mean, like that's like also great writing, because both the owner of Fortico and the like manager or whatever are kind of clowns.
Yeah.
So like it's a great, like, when he says like, oh, this guy's a legend, you know that like that's not why they walked away,
Yeah.
Like it's like a good like ironic communication to the audience that like this is not the reason, don't listen to this guy. Like
yeah, it's so good. I mean, that scene's so cool. He just like literally has the thing above his face, or like holding the rag so he can breathe, and he pulls it down, and it's just like they just walked away. Like that like brings me to the editing. I think the editing is, I always love how Guy Ritchie movies are edited. They're always done so well.
The opening scene is shot and edited so well. Like the fixed camera in the truck, and like the way you get the angle of like everything that's happening in the truck, plus the like executions of the guards through the windshield, like in the background, it's so well done, so well framed and shot. And like all of the like jump cuts are like so spot on. Like it just really good editing techniques throughout.
And what's cool about that scene in particular, the robbery in the beginning, you see that robbery 3 times in this movie, and each time it reveals more and more information, and
from
it
different
doesn't
perspectives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel redundant in any way, in my opinion. You learn more and more. Each is revealed from a different perspective, like you said, and I think that's so cool. I love when the audience is trying to learn something, and then you have that reveal of, oh, okay, this guy is doing this to get this crew because his son got killed by this other crew. And I don't know, it's cool, because you basically see it from the armored car perspective, then you see it from Jason Statham's perspective, and then you see it from like the robber's perspective, or vice versa.
And like what's really neat about the second time you see it from H's perspective is you don't know that it's an unassociated crew yet. Like, it almost leads you to believe that, like, he was the lookout for them and it was, like, a mistake.
Yes.
And then it's finally revealed, the third time that, like, no, they were just happened to, like, be hitting the same truck as H's, guys were. Which I think is, like, just such good writing as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, nothing feels too... Like you said, everything feels earned in this movie. There's nothing that's, like, bloated about it or, like, needed to be... Like, I think the runtime's perfect. I think the pacing is perfect. Like, I don't think there's any... I really take no issue with this movie at all.
Yeah.
Like, there's...
No, I totally agree. Like, every scene, even, like, the whole, like... I think there's, like, 5 acts or 5 sections in the movie. The whole, like, interrogation section where he's just, like, running through people to try and, like, find, this crew is, like, unbelievable. You almost forget that you're, like, watching the movie, and then it jumps back, to, like, present day, or, like, catches back up to present day. But yeah, like, that whole, like, the way it's structured is just so cool. Like, I love it. Yeah, it's just super fun, and, like, keeps you so engaged because, like you said, like, you're constantly getting new information, and, like, it really helps keep you focused and drawn in.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, speaking of the interrogation scene where he's interrogating Dana, he, like, sleeps with her and then finds her money and is, like, interrogating her in her own house, has that suppressed pistol and just, like, shoots at the pillow right next to her. Yeah. It's like, oh my god. Like, that scene's so intense. And it's so cool. So cool.
Well, like, it's so well placed in the movie too, because you still have no idea what his like, game is. And, like, so then, like, you're not quite sure whose team you're supposed to be on, in that scene. It's just, it's super awesome.
Yeah, agreed. And I feel like this is Jason Statham's, like, one of his best movies, because he's just so fucking badass, and, like, I don't know, he plays the character so well. Usually he's whooping people's asses. In this movie, he's not really using his, like, martial arts skills to kick the shit out of people. He's, like, just a badass gangster killing people with guns. I don't. So it feels, although it's a Statham movie where he's kicking ass in general, this movie feels different from his other movies, in my opinion, where it's not
so action heavy that, like, he has to hide, from, like, his acting chops,
Yeah.
Like, I think that's part of it.
That, or it's not like, I'm the beekeeper. I'm not. Right. It's not some job that he has. It's like he's not some blue collar worker, and then getting pulled in because of his martial arts skills. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, this movie, he's already established as, like, a badass, which is super cool. Right. And I think it like, I like that because it flips him on his head, in my opinion. You already know he can kick ass. Right. Just look at him. He's a fucking grizzled beast. And this movie just like, forgoes that angle and of, like, that martial arts angle, and makes him just like a gangster, which is really cool.
And, like, like, as I was kind of watching the movie, I was, like, a little upset that, like, they, like, kind of robbed us of, like, more of this in his career, because now he's just the blue collar guy that's wronged and then goes and kills people. Like, go back to this. Like, go back to, like, Snatch, where he's, like, he doesn't kick anybody's ass in Snatch.
Not at all.
But, like, just killer line delivery, throughout that entire movie. But still, like, stoic and, like, and badass and cool, Like, I feel like, somewhere after this movie came out, they were just like, oh, he has to be the blue collar guy that just goes on a murder spree. Like,
Yeah.
you know. Like maybe it's partly like this movie's fault because this is like a great revenge movie, and then they're just like, oh, Jason Statham is just going to be in revenge movies from now on. Like,
yeah. Well, you know, if you think about it, with you saying that, it's kind of interesting to think like, what other action stars are out there that are like, you know, he's an A-lister, but his movies aren't A-list movies in a sense. They're not like,
yeah,
you know, fucking Oscar-winning movies. It's like there's not too many action stars out there right now, if you think about it, right?
And like, I think he kind of fell into the same trap that like Nick Cage did, you know, where like Nick Cage was in like absolute bangers like in the 90s, and then he just started doing like whatever, and then like his like, you know, bankability or credibility, you know, just kind of like tapered off. I feel like maybe that started with the Fast and the Furious movies when Jason Statham joined those, because like when did he join the 5th one? I think.
No, unless I think it was Fast 6. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Fast 6.
Either way, it was around when they just started becoming like totally
absurd.
Yeah. Like, you know, and it was like, okay, like this isn't like serious, you know, like, or even like, you know, like entertaining, but like somewhat like dramatic, you know, like, yeah. So I don't know.
But think about it, like,
other actors that are like that type of actor, like I can't think of any really.
I'm trying,
it's like this guy does action movies, like I can't really think of any.
I mean, you could kind of say Liam Neeson, and he's been in just crap.
But now he's like 80 years old, so
I know.
He's not doing it anymore.
Well, he is. He's still doing like fucking Ice Road Truck Killer or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know. He's like, there's movies where I'm just like, okay. Like once he did Taken, he just was taking us for our money to go see him kick ass.
Yeah.
But like, think about it. There's always kind of been, since the 80s, there's always been that action star that's like that in a sense. And
I mean, Tom Cruise kind of, but
yeah, kind of. I would kind of agree, but he does better movies, like way better movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Jason Statham is like he's a very interesting actor because he's just like the only one in that mold.
Right.
That's like popular right now, at least.
Right. Yeah. And like it doesn't like cross out of that, or hasn't crossed out of that in like 30 years. You know?
Yeah,
like,
he did like that comedy movie by Paul Feig called like Spy or something like that with Melissa McCarthy, and he's hilarious. He's also in a
isn't he like he's like an action bad guy in that movie, isn't he? Kind of like,
I think he's a good guy.
Oh,
but
is he? Okay.
Yeah, but he's like, you know, he's done certain movies like but he hasn't done. I feel like he hasn't done like what we're kind of talking about in a while.
Yeah.
He was in this movie called London that came out in like the early 2000s, which is a very underrated movie. I feel like not a lot of people know about it. Not a lot of people like it, but I like it. But he like just is a drug dealer in that movie and just does a lot of blow and is hilarious. And he has hair in the movie, which is very interesting. But either way, back to this movie. That's kind of what we're saying. Is like I like that he isn't he's typecast, but he's not typecast in a sense. You know what I mean? Like he's not playing that martial arts mold where he kicks everyone's ass. And that's like my favorite part of this movie is him just being a badass.
Yeah, like he does actually have to like act in this movie. You know, like it's not just learn some like judo moves and like, you know,
and like him scorching earth, like the whole scorched earth sequence of him just like literally scorching the earth to find the you know crew that murdered his son is like so intense too, because he's just going after other crews and like, I don't know. It was, I think that whole sequence is badass when he gets that one black guy, and they like bag him and everything. Like that's fucking crazy. And then they go to that like porn ring or whatever, and he just starts shooting everyone. And then his like,
but the interesting part of that sequence,
which one?
The Scorched Earth sequence, like the whole thing is
gotcha.
Like that's the time when you as the viewer actually like join his side, because you're like, okay, like he obviously pissed that his son is dead, he wants revenge, it's like everybody I think sympathizes with, but then he's like, all right, we're gonna go like find information, and like starts like doing horrible shit to people, which I think the first one is kidnapping that guy and like suffocating him and his girlfriend to death, almost.
Or sister. Sister.
Or is it sister? Okay.
Pretty sure it's his sister.
But then afterwards, he's like, give him $200,000 and the keys to the car. And you're like, oh, so he's not like,
yeah,
that bad of a guy. And then, yeah, he like kills everybody in the like, like whatever, the like sex dungeon porn place.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. Like maybe he does have some, moral, like some gray, but some ethics, like,
and it's interesting because he's a criminal mastermind or criminal gangster boss, and yet he's the main character, he's the anti-hero, but yet you're so drawn to him, and you're like, all right, like I'm with him, like you said, you're on his side, you're on his path to revenge.
Because it could have been just a montage of him trying to get information and killing people.
Yeah.
And then but then it's like, okay, like I get that he's like pissed, whatever, like maybe it's badass, but like, like it's hard to identify if he's just like wasting people. But then like he does these like little things of like reparations, along the way to like the people that he's kind of like destroying their lives, so it's like, like, okay, like I kind of,
yeah,
all right, like, he's not that bad.
We fucked you up, but here's $200,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then his like right hand man is like, hey, like it's got to be an inside job, and like we got to stop at this. Like you're gonna get us killed or like poke the wrong bear, basically. And he's like, all right, you're right. And that's where it's like, oh, it is an inside job. Like I'm gonna go on the inside, and it gives him that idea, which is so cool. And then like, then I like when I like how you like the movie almost changes pace and starts going with the crew that killed his son, and learning about them, and it's very interesting to hear like how they're veterans in soldiers, U.S. soldiers, veterans, and they can't really get a good job, and yet they turn to crime to meet ends and make money, and
like each guy kind of has, I mean, they all have like a similar. They all want the same thing, which is, money or a good life, right? But they all have very different motivations, and like he has each guy express that in the span of like 5 minutes, and you instantly know everybody in the crew, which is like awesome, like great writing.
Yeah, and it's not like you dislike them,
right?
Like
there's no there's no element where you're like, oh, fuck these guys, like.
Yeah, and that's great writing and great filmmaking, in my opinion, because they're clearly the villains of the movie, and you're watching them and you're like, but you're still entertained, and you're still like, okay, like I want to see their side of the story.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool
except for Scott Eastwood, right off the bat,
I
you
like
kind
him,
of
though.
don't like him.
I like him though. I like him in this. He's good, but he is a greasy scumbag. Yeah,
he is.
Yes.
He is awesome in the movie, but like, his character, like right off the bat, you can tell is the one that's the like, I'm not
loose
going
cannon.
to jail. Yeah, like he's not. gonna take any shit,
Yeah.
if things go down. So,
And like what's cool about him is you actually think he's going to get away with it at the end,
right,
which
yeah.
is and which is so awesome about this movie, and the unpredictability of the movie's great, and like even watching it for the fucking 10th time that I've seen it, I was like, man, like is he going to get away with it? Like it's just so I don't know, it still keeps my interest peaked watching it, and still like watching it for the first time in a sense.
Well, I mean, he does the I said at the top of the show that the heist sequences are impeccable in this
They're
movie.
so awesome,
And that getaway is so good.
awesome.
Like the way that he sets up that escape is perfect.
Yeah,
In my opinion.
yeah, agreed. With the tunnels and the Prius, which is hilarious. But even their other, like when they show their other robberies, it's cool to see their transition into becoming like A+ robbers, bank robbers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's cool because it's like, oh, we have a particular set of skills because of our military background, and let's put that to use. And we're such a tight crew that we can do that, and like that is entertaining in and of itself as well. But yeah, like the ending heist, and how I love how he always, Guy Ritchie, I feel like always does this. He always like intertwines the planning with the actual heist. He does that with like every fucking movie. I mean, I guess that's predictable in a sense, but it's also like super entertaining and is funny.
Well, it's a great way to show and tell, right? Like it gives you the visual of what they're talking about in like a very cohesive way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, I mean, it's just like I love the reveal that, because you don't the whole inside man in Fortico, you don't really know who he is until it's revealed that it's Bullet, and like that is surprising because you think it might not be him, you think it might be Boy Sweat, but because like in the beginning he said, I was sick when this heist happened and the feds came about me and all this stuff. It's like, oh yeah, nice alibi, blah blah blah, and that like reveal that it's Bullet, and then Bullet is on this, it's Black Friday and he's in the truck with Jason Statham, and he like takes his gun, you got no bullets in it, and you're like, how the hell is he going to get out of this? And that's what I like. That's a whole nother like layer to this, is how the hell is Jason Statham going to get out of this? How is he going to get his revenge? And then like it just, that whole thing is so entertaining, and again, I've seen it multiple times. It's like I still love that, and it still keeps me entertained. And him,
I also like the way that it's revealed that it's Bullet, because one, it's him admitting to H that he's the inside man, and he does it like so nonchalantly. He's like, look, I like you, so I'm just gonna tell you, like I help some guys knock over trucks, and like it's very like it's a very like non-explosive moment. I feel like it gives you the room as the viewer to be like, oh fuck, like and like really like absorb it, instead of it being like a big shocker moment, kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's also like extremely well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the whole thing about like how the fuck is he gonna get out of this tight spot, is also awesome, and the way he gets out of it is incredibly awesome.
How he shoots the dude with the shotgun in the foot, and then that whole sequence, and like he, obviously we talked about him being a martial arts guy. He kind of gets his ass kicked a little bit, like he gets beat up, and then he gets shot, and you think he's dead, and you're like, no fucking way. And it's like, it's unpredictable, it's entertaining, and like, the Fortico security guards that are kind of in the stronghold that are like stubborn, and they start, firing against these people, like that is like unpredictable. And it's I don't know, it's great, and it's I think that reveal of Bullet being like, oh, this is the inside guy. This is who I have been looking for, and this crew, and it's like, but now I'm powerless. Adds so much to the tension, and it's so well done.
And ratchets up the stakes.
Yes, this movie has plenty of stakes.
Yeah,
and then. You think Jan's going to get away, and it's all the double crossing of everyone, which is a typical, kind of blueprint heist. But it's also like unpredictable because you think Bullet is going to get away with it, and then it's Jan, but it's at the same time Jan is going to get away because Jason Statham has to get his revenge.
He's got to get him, yeah.
Yeah, and then
but I do love the foreshadowing that I can't remember who says it, but somebody says to, I think H, like that amount of money like does like strange things to men, and then like you see like Jan kind of like walking like with the crew, and it kind of like hovers on him for a second. That's kind of like the foreshadow that like he's gonna screw everybody over and try and take the whole thing for himself.
It's Tom and Jackson who go over that Jeffrey Donovan and Chris Riley, the crew, and they're like, the only person we're worried about is Jan.
Right.
And that's cool because that does the foreshadowing. And Jeffrey Donovan's awesome in this movie. Mm-hmm. He's great in every movie. And then there's one sequence I saw in this that I don't remember ever seeing, or I'm sure I saw it and I was just like, oh, I picked up on it this time. Jason Statham H slips his cell phone into one of the money bags. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, obviously because he calls it at the end, and that's how he gets revealed that it's like, hey, and that's how he tracks the money.
Right.
Which is really cool. And then you get the reveal that he's already in Jan's apartment, which is super cool.
With the classic light switch flip.
Yep. Yeah. And then he does the liver, the lungs, the spleen, and the heart, and shoots him in all those places where his son got shot, which is really cool and like the perfect bow to tie it all up of revenge. And then he goes out and sees Andy Garcia's like cop character and is like, I'm done, we're good. And then the movie fucking ends, and it's so cool. And he has that line. He's like, I can do what you can't in 2 years. I can do in 2 weeks. And sure enough, he does that. And and like at the end, it's like, all right, well, it's not really a heist movie. It's a revenge movie now, and it's now been full circle.
Right.
Which is, again, that's why I love this movie so much. I think it's so entertaining, and it's a hidden gem. It really is. It's a hidden gem. I think it's like anytime someone asks me if like they haven't seen a movie, I'm like, watch this movie. Like I always have one or two of those on my list that's like, I know people probably haven't seen these, and like I'd say the other one is Upgrade, which we're gonna do in next month. No, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that when it's my month to pick movies.
Oh yeah, you picked that one. Yeah. In January, I think.
I think so. Yeah. And like I always have like guilty pleasures of movies like that where it's like this movie's super underrated, no one's ever seen it, and I love sharing those with people. So hopefully that can be said for our audience, our listeners, our viewers. We appreciate you, and I hope you have watched this movie because of us. And if you have, or if you've seen it, great. And let us know what you think of it, and if you love it as much as we do, or if you don't like it, let us know. But yeah, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'm super stoked for the next movie. It's my favorite movie of all time. And I can't wait to compare it to all the other movies we've watched, because there's so much DNA from that movie in all these movies, in Heat. And yeah, but this movie is, I think we picked some great heist movies this month. So anything else you want to wrap up with?
No, yeah. I'm also very excited for next week. So
yeah, me too. All right, guys, we'll catch you next week with the best movie ever made, Heat. Thanks for watching.
See ya.